Find inner peace when life gets tough. Setting the stage for inner peace. Life is full of challenges, heartbreak, financial struggles, conflicts, and unexpected loss. These moments of suffering often leave us questioning, how can we ever find happiness and inner peace amidst chaos? Imagine being stuck in traffic, frustrated beyond words, or facing betrayal from a close friend. These emotions feel inevitable, but what if they aren't? What if the secret to inner peace lies not in changing the world around us, but in changing how we perceive it? This is where Stoic philosophy, especially the teachings of Epictetus, offers a radical and transformative perspective. Epictetus, an ancient Stoic philosopher, believed that happiness and inner peace are entirely within our control. It's not the events themselves that disturb us, he argued, but our judgments about these events. This idea, though simple, can change how we approach life's difficulties. In this exploration, we will dive deep into Epictetus' teachings and expand on them with modern examples and personal insights to uncover the path to unshakable inner peace. Chapter 1. Understanding the Stoic Philosophy. Epictetus, born into slavery in 50 AD in Hierapolis, modern-day Turkey, overcame adversity to become one of Stoicism's greatest teachers. His teachings, recorded by his student Arrian in Discourses and the Enchiridion, focus on the dichotomy of control, a foundational concept of Stoicism that remains deeply relevant today. The dichotomy of control. The dichotomy of control divides life into two categories: things we can control and things we cannot. In the first category are our actions, thoughts, and values, elements that depend entirely on our choices. In the second category are external events, others' opinions, and the results of our efforts, factors outside our influence. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from focusing only on what we can control and accepting everything else as it is. For instance, we cannot control whether someone criticizes us, but we can control how we respond. By relinquishing concern over external circumstances, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and achieve inner peace. This principle is not about indifference, but about prioritizing what truly matters. When we focus on mastering our minds and actions, we can face life's challenges with clarity and composure. This mindset helps transform obstacles into opportunities, teaching us to grow from every experience. Virtue, the core of Stoicism. At the heart of Stoicism lies the pursuit of virtue, which the Stoics believed was the only true good. Virtue is composed of four cardinal values: a wisdom, the ability to discern what is within our control; a courage, the strength to act rightly despite fear or hardship; a justice, treating others fairly and upholding the common good; a temperance, exercising self-discipline and moderation. For Epictetus, living virtuously aligns us with the natural order of the universe, leading to a fulfilling and meaningful life. Virtue is not an abstract ideal but a practical guide for daily living. By cultivating these qualities, we develop resilience, make better decisions, and contribute positively to those around us. Philosophy and practice. To Epictetus, philosophy was not just intellectual theory but a way of life. Stoics practiced daily exercises to internalize their principles, including premeditation of adversity, premeditatio malorum, imagining potential challenges to prepare the mind for them; a reflection and journaling, analyzing daily actions to align them with Stoic values; a view from above, visualizing oneself from a higher perspective to foster humility and reduce self-centered concerns. These practices are not about avoiding hardship, but about equipping ourselves to navigate it with grace and wisdom. They help us build the mental habits necessary to remain calm, focused, and virtuous, even in the face of life's uncertainties. The goal, eudaimonia. The Stoics define the ultimate goal of life as eudaimonia, a state of flourishing achieved through rational living and alignment with nature. This flourishing does not depend on wealth, status, or external success, but on inner harmony. By focusing on what we can control, living virtuously, and embracing philosophy as a guide, we can experience lasting contentment, Epictetus reminds us that while life's events may be unpredictable, our responses are entirely within our power. This freedom of choice is the foundation of Stoic resilience and happiness. His timeless wisdom encourages us to rise above distractions and live with intention, offering a practical path to fulfillment in any era. Through the lens of Epictetus, Stoicism becomes more than a philosophy. It becomes a compass for navigating life's complexities with purpose and peace. Chapter 2. The Root of Our Suffering. Epictetus believed that suffering doesn't stem from external events, but from the way we perceive and judge them. This fundamental principle underpins Stoicism's ability to transform our relationship with challenges, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. How perception shapes suffering. Imagine losing a job or experiencing financial loss. The distress we feel isn't caused by the event itself, but by our attachment to specific outcomes and our interpretation of the situation. Epictetus taught that our emotions arise from within. We project meaning onto external events, creating our own turmoil. For example, fear of spiders isn't due to the spider itself, but to the judgment that it poses a threat. Similarly, when someone criticizes us, their words hold no inherent power to harm us. It's our interpretation, seeing it as an attack on our worth, that causes pain. This insight applies to modern challenges like social media. Scrolling through images of others' success often sparks envy, inadequacy, or frustration. Yet, these emotions don't come from their achievements, but from our judgment that we're falling short. By reframing our perspective, we can free ourselves from the grip of comparison and focus on our own journey. Practical application. Changing our perspective. The Stoics emphasized the importance of self-awareness and mental discipline to reshape our perceptions. Instead of reacting instinctively, they taught us to pause, evaluate, and respond with reason. This process involves recognizing that external events are neutral. It's our judgments that make them seem good or bad. For instance, if someone cuts us off in traffic, our anger doesn't arise from the act itself, but from our interpretation that we've been disrespected. By reframing the situation, perhaps viewing it as a moment to practice patience, we can let go of unnecessary anger and maintain our peace of mind. A personal example. I once missed out on an important job opportunity due to unforeseen circumstances. Initially, I was devastated, believing that my future prospects had been irreparably damaged. However, reflecting on Stoic principles helped me realize that it wasn't the event itself causing my unhappiness, it was my judgment of it. By shifting my focus to what I could control, I chose to improve my skills and explore new opportunities. This change in perspective not only alleviated my suffering but also opened doors to paths I hadn't considered before. Overcoming modern challenges. In today's fast-paced world, Epictetus' wisdom is more relevant than ever. Whether it's dealing with career setbacks, relationship challenges, or the constant noise of social media, we can reduce suffering by changing how we perceive these situations. Practice mindfulness. Pause and observe your initial reaction to a situation. Ask yourself if your judgment is serving you or causing unnecessary distress. Focus on control. Identify what aspects of the situation you can influence. Let go of the rest. Reframe negative events. View challenges as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. By applying these principles, we take control of our inner world, breaking free from the cycle of self-inflicted suffering. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This timeless teaching empowers us to live with clarity, resilience, and peace, regardless of external circumstances. Chapter 3. Letting go of external attachments. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the importance of letting go of attachment to external things. This doesn't mean rejecting relationships or possessions, but recognizing that happiness cannot depend on them. According to Epictetus, attaching desire or aversion to things beyond our control only makes us more susceptible to suffering. Freedom through non-attachment. A common source of pain is our attachment to relationships. We naturally want our loved ones to remain close, reciprocate our love, and never leave us. However, life's impermanence ensures that change is inevitable. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from loving without clinging, appreciating people as they are, without depending on them for our emotional stability. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or cold, but cultivating a mindset that allows us to cherish relationships without being consumed by fear of loss. By understanding that we don't own people, we create space for healthier, more genuine connections based on mutual respect and appreciation rather than dependency. Similarly, this principle applies to material possessions. While it's natural to enjoy comforts, we often let our happiness hinge on acquiring or retaining them. Stoicism encourages us to use possessions wisely and gratefully, but without defining our self-worth or well-being by them. The balance between love and detachment. Non-attachment isn't about suppressing emotions, but embracing them in a balanced way. Loving deeply while accepting the impermanence of all things allows us to experience richer, more meaningful relationships. When we let go of possessiveness and fear, we create a love rooted in freedom and authenticity. For instance, instead of clinging to a relationship out of fear of being alone, we can focus on what the connection brings to our lives in the present moment. This perspective fosters gratitude and reduces anxiety, making relationships more fulfilling. Personal insight. A personal experience taught me the power of this mindset. Losing a close friend was initially devastating. My attachment to the relationship made me resist the loss, dwelling on what could have been. But reflecting on Stoic principles helped me shift my perspective. Instead of fixating on the absence, I began to value the memories and lessons the friendship had brought. This shift didn't diminish my love for my friend. It deepened my appreciation for the time we had shared. By letting go of attachment, I found a sense of peace that allowed me to cherish the connection without being bound by its end. Practical steps for letting go. 1. Reflect on impermanence. Regularly remind yourself that all things, relationships, possessions, and experiences are temporary. This practice helps build resilience against unexpected changes. 2. Cultivate gratitude. Focus on appreciating what you have in the present moment rather than fearing its loss. Gratitude fosters joy and reduces attachment. 3. Practice non-possessive love. Embrace relationships as opportunities to give and receive freely, without clinging to specific outcomes. 4. Simplify your desires. Reduce dependence on external possessions or achievements for happiness. Recognize that true contentment comes from within. The Stoic path to freedom. Epictetus reminds us that our inner world is the only domain truly within our control. By detaching from external dependencies and focusing on internal growth, we can experience lasting peace and freedom. Letting go doesn't mean losing love or joy. It means finding a deeper, more enduring connection to life itself. Through non-attachment, we liberate ourselves from the fear of loss and embrace the present with clarity and gratitude. Chapter 4. The Power of Acceptance. Ask not that events should happen as you will, but let your will be that events should happen as they do, and you shall have peace. Epictetus. Acceptance is a central tenet of Stoicism, offering a pathway to inner peace. It's not about passivity or resignation, but about aligning our expectations with reality. By embracing what is beyond our control, we free ourselves from frustration and focus on actions that truly matter. Aligning with reality. At its essence, acceptance means acknowledging the nature of events as they occur. Many challenges in life are outside our influence: traffic delays, unexpected losses, or natural disasters. Instead of resisting these realities, Stoicism teaches us to adapt our mindset. By doing so, we conserve emotional energy and reduce unnecessary suffering. Acceptance doesn't imply inaction. It empowers us to act where we can. For example, if we face a health issue, acceptance allows us to focus on recovery strategies instead of despairing over the diagnosis. This shift in perspective transforms resistance into productive action. Everyday applications. In daily life, acceptance can turn minor inconveniences into opportunities for calm. Imagine being stuck in traffic. Fighting against the situation with anger or impatience won't change it. But by accepting the delay, we can find ways to use the time effectively. whether through reflection or listening to a podcast. On a larger scale, acceptance helps us navigate major challenges like career setbacks or relationship difficulties. Resistance to reality amplifies suffering, but acceptance opens the door to solutions. When we let go of the need for life to conform to our desires, we find clarity to address what truly matters. Personal reflection. Once, a significant project I managed faced unexpected delays. My initial reaction was frustration, but resisting the situation only made it worse. Reflecting on Stoic principles, I chose to accept the delay as an unavoidable reality and focused on what I could control, adjusting timelines and keeping the team motivated. This shift not only eased my stress, but also led to a more effective resolution. Practicing acceptance. To integrate acceptance into life, Stoics recommend 1. Distinguishing control. Focus on what you can influence and let go of what you cannot. 2. Reframing challenges. View obstacles as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. 3. Mindfulness. Regularly reflect on your responses to events, identifying where resistance can be replaced with acceptance. The freedom of acceptance. Epictetus reminds us that peace comes not from controlling events, but from controlling our reactions to them. By aligning our will with the natural flow of life, we cultivate resilience and clarity. True freedom arises when we stop resisting what is and instead embrace life's uncertainties with grace. Through acceptance, we not only reduce suffering but also unlock the ability to live more fully in the present moment, free from the weight of unmet expectations. Chapter 5. Practical steps to apply Stoic teachings. 1. Identify what you can control. One of the core Stoic principles is to distinguish between what is within your control and what is not. This simple yet powerful habit prevents wasted energy on things beyond your influence. For example, you can't control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. Focusing on your actions, thoughts, and decisions brings clarity and reduces unnecessary stress. 2. Reframe negative thoughts. Negative emotions often stem from distorted perceptions. Instead of seeing challenges as failures or setbacks, practice reframing them. For instance, if you face rejection, view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. By altering your perspective, you transform obstacles into stepping stones for personal development. 3. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is essential for cultivating self-awareness and maintaining composure. Pay attention to your emotions and reactions without judgment. When frustration or anger arises, pause and reflect. Is this response helpful? Mindfulness helps you break free from automatic reactions, allowing for more thoughtful and intentional choices. 4. Daily reflection. Set aside time each evening to review your day. Reflect on your actions and thoughts. Did I focus on what's within my control? Did I act with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance? This practice encourages growth and ensures that Stoic principles guide your decisions over time. 5. Cultivate gratitude and perspective. Gratitude is a cornerstone of Stoic resilience. Appreciate the good in your life while recognizing its impermanence. Reflecting on life's transience helps reduce attachment and fosters a deeper appreciation for the present moment. For example, instead of lamenting what you lack, focus on the abundance you already have. By integrating these practical steps into your daily life, you align your actions with Stoic wisdom, cultivating inner peace and resilience in the face of life's uncertainties. Chapter 6. A modern perspective on Stoic radical teachings. Stoicism's radical teachings, such as detachment and letting go of outcomes, can seem challenging in the modern world. However, when adapted thoughtfully, they offer profound insights for balancing relationships, ambitions, and emotional resilience. Balancing detachment with relationships. Stoicism's emphasis on detachment isn't about avoiding love or connection, but fostering non-possessive relationships. This approach aligns with modern psychology, which highlights the importance of secure, emotionally healthy bonds. Loving without clinging or fear allows us to cherish others fully while respecting their individuality. For example, instead of fearing the loss of loved ones, We can embrace the present moment and value the connection without being overwhelmed by anxiety. Detachment, in this sense, creates freedom and strengthens relationships by removing dependency, letting go of outcomes in a goal-oriented world. While Stoicism teaches us to focus on actions rather than results, this doesn't mean abandoning ambition. Instead, it reframes success as a process rather than a destination. By dedicating ourselves to effort and mastery, we free ourselves from the stress of uncontrollable outcomes. For instance, a professional can focus on doing their best work rather than obsessing over recognition or results. This mindset reduces anxiety and builds resilience, enabling individuals to adapt and grow regardless of external circumstances. Reframing detachment. Epictetus' teaching on detachment from loved ones can feel stark, but when reframed, it becomes a tool for deeper emotional freedom. Detachment isn't about suppressing emotions, but about loving with clarity and courage, unclouded by fear or dependency. This allows us to face life's impermanence with strength and gratitude, appreciating relationships while remaining resilient in the face of loss. Adapting Stoicism for today. By integrating Stoic principles with modern values, we can cultivate meaningful connections, pursue ambitions without undue stress, and live with greater peace. Detachment becomes a way to love more deeply, and letting go of outcomes helps us thrive in an unpredictable world. Stoicism, when adapted, remains a timeless guide to balance and fulfillment. Chapter 7. Inner Peace as a Foundation for Action. Stoicism teaches that inner peace isn't about retreating from life, but about creating a strong foundation for meaningful action. By cultivating clarity and resilience, we can engage with the world effectively, even in the face of adversity. Inner peace and meaningful engagement. Inner peace arises from focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and values. This stability allows us to act with purpose and virtue rather than being driven by fear, anger, or external pressures. Instead of reacting impulsively, we respond thoughtfully, making decisions that align with our principles and contribute positively to the world around us. For instance, when faced with conflict, a peaceful mind can defuse tension, enabling constructive dialogue. Similarly, in pursuing personal goals, inner peace helps us stay focused and adaptable, undeterred by setbacks or external distractions. A modern example, Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela exemplified Stoic principles by maintaining inner strength and clarity during 27 years of imprisonment. Instead of succumbing to bitterness, he focused on what he could control, his mindset and vision for the future. This inner peace allowed him to lead with compassion and resilience, transforming his nation and inspiring the world. Cultivating peace for collective impact. When individuals act from a place of inner peace, the ripple effects are profound. A society rooted in calm, virtuous action is one where fear, anger, and division are replaced by compassion and collaboration. Imagine a world where leaders, communities, and individuals consistently approach challenges with wisdom and integrity. The potential for positive change is limitless. By grounding ourselves in inner peace, we not only enhance our personal lives, but also contribute to creating a more harmonious and effective world. Stoicism reminds us that true strength begins within, and from that foundation, we can engage with life fully and meaningfully. Conclusion: embracing the Stoic path. Epictetus' teachings challenge us to rethink how we approach life's difficulties. By focusing on what we can control, letting go of attachments, and aligning with the natural order, we unlock the potential for profound inner peace. This journey isn't easy, but it's worth it. As you reflect on these ideas, consider how they apply to your own life. What judgments or attachments are holding you back? How can you shift your perspective to embrace acceptance and resilience? The path to inner peace begins with a single step, one that only you can take.